Hakimi from right back in the centre forward for her at the moment, Morocco.
Say, yeah, how did he end up there?
Mazraoui. Saladin. Al-Nawi. Winners of this game will play Spain or Belgium in Dallas on Tuesday. It's foul by Neil Al-Nawi.
Yeah, his touch just encouraged Kone to close down, and they are having a bit of joy, aren't they? Nicking the ball off the Moroccan players at the moment. This was the Douai effort. Bit like the penalty, bit too close to the keeper.
Here's Douai again. Dean. Saliba. Koundé. Olise. Olise ran into traffic and ran out of it again. Dembele couldn't take the ball. Brahim Diaz wants to run away with it. Saliba made that tough, but he did yield a free kick, which Brahim Diaz was in a hurry to take. Morocco now 34 games unbeaten. Does include 3 penalty shootouts. It includes the contentious Africa Cup of Nations final. Their last outright defeat was to Kenya in Nairobi on the 10th of August last year. A lot of those games have been in major tournament football. A lot of them have gone very tight, but they have always found a way to be the right side of the margins. Unahi. Brahim Diaz. Talbi. Coaxed out by Upamecano, further cleared by Dembele, chased in by Salah-Ad-Din, and behind.
Well, they haven't had many moments like that, Morocco. They have been good on the counter-attack, but in this system, with these tactics, it's not proved so easy.
Just 5 minutes of a first half in which France essentially have owned the ball. France have had the one glaring chance from the penalty spot. Olise, Salah-Ad-Din threw in his left boot. Mazraoui. Diaz, he's the principal ball carrier, he and Talbi there.
Certainly trying to keep the width, Morocco. Talbi on that far side, hugging the touchline. But adopting this stance, they were always going to have to ride the luck. Morocco hope that they can soak up the pressure. So far, so good, courtesy of the missed pen.
Mercifully, the sun has just gone behind a cloud. The temperature's dipped by about 30 degrees. Colombia are out of the World Cup now. Penalties on Switzerland, but their biggest star isn't. Shakira still with us. Upamecano. The Moroccans wrapped up in it, as they were in Qatar. What a time to be alive if you're a football supporter in that country right now. Literally never had it so good. Traoui. Charlie, that's a nice touch. Salah-Adin gives it him back. Buhari.
Well, we don't need that to tell us that it has been mostly all France. The object would have been always just to stay in this game for Morocco.
And they've stayed in it. Nearly up to half-time now. Buhari. They got the better of Buhari. Oh, he's done very, very well. Doué, Rabiot, Mbappe, 2 men at his back. Shields it for Upamecano. Dembele is wide. Koundé has come infield from full-back. Dembele. Upamecano. There was Koundé, but he can't catch that up. Brazilian born and bred. Developed at international level by Didier Deschamps. Took the French to the quarterfinals in 2014. And then has given them dreams really ever since. Runners-up in Euro 2016, winners of the World Cup in 18. Runners-up in 22, and the semi-finals also at the last European Championships 2 summers ago. And for much of that time, one of his principal artists was Antoine Griezmann, who himself played in 19 World Cup games. He's just coming into the MLS, actually. I gather he scored on his debut in a friendly for Orlando City yesterday. By the way, he scored all 3 of his World Cup penalties for France. I wonder who would have had that penalty if he'd still been playing.
Well, as it stands, it's a day for the French to be patient. They go a goal up and the complexion of the game totally changes. But as long as it's 0-0, it's not going to be easy for them.
Dean, Doué. Canuce with a stringy strength in his tackling. Doué, Elise. Ear of Brahim Diaz. Kone, Koundé. Dembele. Set up by Doué. Rabiot resisted the temptation to shoot. Here's Dean. Saliba. Mighty hit from Kone.
Dangerous 5 minutes now for Morocco before half-time.
Dembele, Elise. Closed down by Mazraoui. Came to Dignal! That was swishing and swirling all over the shot.
Yeah, when he's lining up to shoot, I'm thinking, no, not from there. Not that far out. Catches it perfectly with a bit of dip. Got a little finger on that, I think, Bono.
One kick given, but there was a lot of lateral movement, and as you say too, it dipped at the last. The word is swaz. Upamecano.
Yeah, it's easy to forget his early chance, that headed effort.
What a lovely take from Doué. Hakimi laid down in front of him. And seemingly got a free kick, which has puzzled Desiree Doué.
He's grabbed hold of his shorts there. Quite crafty about it, Hakimi, so the ref didn't see it. They're both grabbing hold of each other, in fairness.
Mbappe. Last couple of minutes of stoppage time. Usman and Dembele. Salah-Eddin has deputised really well at left back.
Hasn't he just? Big pressure on him coming into it, knowing he's up against Dembele.
Benahi. Talbi's outside of him. El Khanous through the middle. Al-Ainawi. Hakimi. Diaz. Hakimi. Al-Ainawi. Hakimi. Brahim Diaz. El Khanous handball.
Rabiot. Well, here's half a chance. It's only a couple of yards away, but the arm was up. It's the right decision.
Adrien Rabiot, the guilty party. And by the time this is set, it is likely to become the last event of the first half here. We're well into the fifth and final minute of stoppage time. Two men in the French wall. Achraf Hakimi one side of the dead ball and Brahim Diaz the other. Hakimi went for the near post, and truth be told, he wasn't especially close.
No, he's just hoping that Magnon's going to edge across, and if he had got one on target, keeper might have been struggling.
Well, that was Morocco's first attempt at goal, and indeed their last attempt of the first half, the last kick of the ball. Well, the first half in which Kylian Mbappe's unusually tame strike of the ball from 12 yards was the feature, comfortably saved as it was from the penalty spot by Yassine Bono, as a result of which, despite all of France's greedy possession, we reached the break with a scoreline still reading: France 0, Morocco 0.
Ini yang saya sukai, berekspresi, membawa pesan yang positif. Kalau panas dalam, bantu redakan dengan yang ada badannya.
Sayang, nanti temenin belanja bulanan, beli baju, nge-gym.
Akan kuhadapi dunia, tapi Indomie Jumbo dulu.
Ya, belum ada hasil yang bisa diciptakan di pertandingan pagi hari ini antara Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko. Kita lihat Bung Gita di sana ada kiper dari Maroko, Bono, yang tampil sangat baik tadi di babak yang pertama.
Penyelamatan penalti, kemudian ada 2 penyelamatan yang juga krusial yang dilakukannya, 3 penyelamatan. Tapi kalau kita bicara Maroko sebenarnya mereka juga tidak punya peluang sama sekali ya masuk kotak. Kecuali tadi ya tendangan bebas terakhir dari Hakimi pun masih tidak pada sasaran, dan XG juga, expected goal juga 0, paling rendah ya kalau kita lihat. Kemudian juga shot on target mereka nggak ada, attempt ke arah gawang pun tidak ada, walaupun penguasaan bola mereka tipis mereka kuasai.
Iya, kalau kita lihat di jalannya babak pertama memang Prancis ya yang terus menekan, namun belum bisa untuk memecah kebuntuan sejauh ini, Bung Erwin.
Ya, masih sangat disiplin para pemain belakang dari Maroko. Ada sekitar 4 atau 5 tendangan yang diblok oleh para pemain belakang tadi. Belum lagi penyelamatan yang dilakukan oleh Bono, termasuk bukan cuma menepis ya, tapi menangkap dengan lengket tendangan penalti dari Kylian Mbappé.
Sebelum itu kita akan mendengarkan sesi interview berikut ini.
C'est vrai qu'on a eu un peu de mal à rentrer dans cette rencontre. On a été mis un petit peu en difficulté quand on les a laissés rentrer intérieur. Ça a été beaucoup mieux en deuxième mi-temps. Après la pause fraîcheur, on a su régler ça. Et voilà, on finit bien sur ce coup franc. Donc voilà, des choses encore à régler. On va gérer ça là à la mi-temps avec le coach.
And what's the message going to be before you go out from halftime from coach?
Plus se lâcher. Je pense qu'on a manqué de rythme. Mettre plus de rythme dans ce match, faire plus de courses vers l'avant. On voit la récup de balles qu'on manque de profondeur encore une fois. Et on va essayer de régler ça, ça va être le message.
And it was a great save from Bono to stop that penalty. How does that affect the team mentally moving forward?
Oui, c'est sûr que nous garde dans le match en arrêtant ce penalty. Donc pour le moral, c'est bon. Donc va falloir s'appuyer sur ça.
All right, thank you, coach. Good luck.
Merci.
So those are the thoughts from inside the Moroccan.
Ya, sementara pemirsa, inilah dia statistik yang terjadi di jalannya pertandingan babak yang pertama. Memang kalau kita lihat lebih dikuasai oleh Prancis ya sejauh ini. Ada 13 tembakan di sana, 3 on target, namun belum bisa menjadi gol, Bung Gita.
Ya kalau kita lihat juga dari expected goal aja 1,55 itu lebih karena mereka mendapatkan peluang penalti tadi. Dan saya pikir juga momen mereka yang terbaik adalah pada saat Mbappé tadi diganjal oleh Mazraoui yang kemudian penalti. Cek VAR dan penalti diberikan, tapi terlalu lemah ya tendangan dari Mbappé tadi, nggak khas Mbappé, sama sekali bukan Mbappé ya. Dia menang lemah betul. Dan lebih ke arah penjaga gawang, dan itu tadi yang Erwin bilang, bahkan tidak ditepis, ditangkap itu oleh Bono.
Ya, kita lihat dulu ya bagaimana head to head dari Kylian Mbappé dan juga Talbi di jalannya babak yang pertama. Memang dari angka-angka ini bisa terlihat ya cukup lebih efektif bagi Mbappé ya dengan attempts-nya yang dimiliki tadi di babak pertama, Bung Erwin.
Ya, dengan sokongan pemain-pemain yang banyak berkualitas di sekelilingnya, Mbappé memang menghadirkan ancaman meskipun belum sampai bisa mencetak gol. Sementara kalau di kubu Maroko memang Chamsdin Talbi ini adalah pemain yang biasanya memang menjadi pemain cadangan ya. Karena Ismail Saibari tidak main. Yang agak mengejutkan memang Sofian Rahimi yang tidak dimainkan sebagai starter, tapi justru Chamsdin Talbi yang baru berusia 21 tahun yang main di Sunderland. Ya, inilah dia alur dari serangan ya di jalannya babak pertama. Prancis dari sisi sayap dominan, Bung Gita.
Ya, kalau kita lihat Lukadin tadi beberapa kali masuk dari sisi kiri daerahnya, dari sisi kanan pertahanan Maroko. Kalau kita lihat dari garis merah memang tidak banyak apa yang bisa diperbuat oleh Maroko selain mereka bertahan. Serangan-serangan mereka juga lebih banyak tertahan. Ini kenapa mereka tidak punya peluang sama sekali di babak pertama.
Iya, sementara kita lihat highlight yang terjadi di 45 menit babak yang pertama dari Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko. Peluang yang coba diciptakan oleh Prancis ya, ada satu percobaan namun memang masih belum ideal, Bung Erwin.
Ya, dari jarak jauh Kylian Mbappé sebetulnya kalau percobaan seperti yang dilakukan oleh Mbappé beberapa kali sudah dilakukan oleh para pemain Prancis, tapi itu tadi bahwa banyak juga yang diblok oleh para pemain belakang dari Maroko. Ada 5 atau 4 block shot ya yang dilakukan.
Ya, yang sejauh ini memang tampil masih disiplin ya kalau kita bicara tentang lini belakang dari Maroko sendiri.
Ya, ini untuk kita lihat penyelamatan pertama dari Bono tadi
ya.
Bono melakukan penyelamatan pertama sebelum dia kemudian menyelamatkan dari tendangan penalti, dan terakhir tadi menjelang akhir pertandingan dia juga kembali melakukan penyelamatan krusial.
Ya, sebelum akhirnya ada pelanggaran nantinya ya.
Nah ini proses dari penalti ya.
Ya.
Berawal dari ada benturan Achraf Hakimi, lalu ada serangan balik, dan ini sudah berhasil memang melewati Mazraoui. Memang agak mengejutkan memasang Mazraoui di posisi back tengah ya.
Yang aneh ya.
Betul, karena kalau dilihat dengan kecepatannya memang kalah kalau diadu sama Mbappe, sehingga dia harus melakukan pelanggaran seperti ini.
Iya, pelanggaran di kotak terlarang tentunya yang wasit memberikan hadiah penalti bagi Prancis, namun sayang tidak bisa dieksekusi dengan baik oleh Mbappe.
Ya, tadi yang Erwin bilang agak aneh Mazraoui di sana karena Chadi Riyad pun ada di bangku cadangan ya, biasanya dia yang dimainkan.
Ya, ini dia ya pelanggaran yang dilakukan oleh Mazraoui.
Padahal ini kalau misalnya dilepas sebetulnya belum tentu
Belum
akan
tentu
membahayakan
ya,
karena
betul.
bolanya juga bergulirnya kencang ya.
Ya, tapi memang diuntungkan juga Maroko dengan kegagalan penalti dari Mbappe, karena hasil masih imbang 0-0 sementara. Prancis belum bisa menciptakan gol di 45 menit babak yang pertama tadi. Ya, sementara yang menarik juga statistik ini dia. Penalti yang gagal bisa dieksekusi oleh Mbappe.
Ya, sehingga Deschamps harus menunggu ya. Padahal ini merupakan momen bersejarah bagi Deschamps. Ini pertandingan dia ke-25, jadi sama rekornya dengan pelatih legendaris Jerman Helmut Schön, 25 pertandingan di Piala Dunia. Ya, bayangkan kalau nanti mereka lolos, Deschamps akan memainkan pertandingan menjadi manajer untuk ke-26 kalinya, dan itu rekor bagi seorang.
Wow ya, luar biasa ya. Dengan gagalnya penalti dari Mbappe, keuntungan tersendiri tentu bagi Maroko, Bung Erwin.
Ya, pasti ada motivasi bagi para pemain Maroko, terutama di lini belakang, karena mereka sampai sejauh ini masih belum kebobolan meskipun lebih banyak tertekan. Dan ini juga menjadi, kalau tidak dikelola dengan baik, bisa menjadi beban bagi para pemain Prancis ya. Soal mental, karena mereka banyak mendapatkan peluang tapi nggak gol-gol. Ini yang itu tadi, bahwa kalau mereka nggak waspada, serangan balik dari Maroko ini yang bisa berbahaya di babak kedua.
Ya, tadi ada tendangan bebas tadi ya, kalau kita lihat ya, di akhir-akhir pertandingan ya dari Hakimi tadi, karena juga ada handsball yang dilakukan tadi oleh pemain Prancis.
Rabiot maksudnya.
Rabiot ya, itu daerah berbahaya, dan itu bisa menjadi warning bagi Prancis, karena Kanada melakukan hal yang sama terhadap Maroko ya. Mereka menekan di babak pertama, nggak dapat gol, mereka kemudian terhukum oleh serangan balik yang dilakukan oleh Maroko di babak kedua.
Iya, sementara bagi Maroko kalau kita lihat di jalannya babak yang pertama memang cukup terlihat nyaman menunggu momen untuk bisa datang ya, Bung Erwin ya.
Iya, ini lagi-lagi kita bisa lihat bagaimana penyelamatan gemilang
dari Bono.
Bono. Berawal dari bola yang bisa direbut Doe dari Boadi.
Iya, penyelamatan krusial ya ini dari Bono.
Jadi bukan cuma di penalti saja, tapi dalam open play Bono ada beberapa kali save yang sangat-sangat krusial karena on target, dan kalau tidak ditepis atau ditangkap oleh dia sudah unggul tadi Prancis.
Betul, ya.
Ini momen di mana Deschamps kemudian kayak berteriak seperti kesal gitu tadi setelah gol ini, setelah peluang ini gagal.
Ini kena
dia.
mistar, tendangan dari Lucas Digne.
Ya, dari Digne. Tendangan jarak jauh dan masih membentur tiang gawang tadi ya, di atas, bagian atas.
Yang on target di blok, yang nggak di blok malah kena mistar. Memang ada beberapa usaha dari pemain Prancis, sudah dari beberapa skema ya, dari penalti, ada tendangan dari jarak jauh ya, dari tendangan jarak dekat, tapi semuanya masih gagal. Dan sekali lagi bahwa waktu menghadapi Kanada, Maroko lebih banyak tertekan di babak pertama, tapi mereka keluar menyerang di babak kedua dan hasilnya mereka bisa menang 3-0. Ini yang mungkin harus diwaspadai sama Prancis ya, meskipun secara tim Prancis jauh di atas Kanada kalau menurut saya, tapi potensi untuk menyulitkan untuk serangan balik dari Maroko ini tetap ada di babak kedua.
Ya, kalau kita bicara lawan Kanada kan jelas bahwa gol pertama itu datang dari tendangan bebas. Onahi datang dari belakang, itu kemudian Hakimi dengan cerdas memberikan kepada Onahi. Gol keduanya bahkan sebuah serangan balik, skema serangan balik. Brahim Diaz menunggu dengan sabar, Onahi datang dan menyelesaikan dengan gol keduanya.
Ya, kalau kita lihat memang masih ada babak yang kedua tentunya bagi kedua tim, Prancis dan juga Maroko. Tapi yang kita lihat sebetulnya statistik yang menarik juga tadi, 16 touches in the box jadi dibandingkan dengan 1 dari Maroko. Ini menunjukkan bahwa memang Prancis lebih banyak mengendalikan pertandingan, terutama sepertiga akhir lapangan ini yang diwaspadai.
Memang nggak ada peluang juga bagi Maroko ya. Ini kenapa hanya 1 sentuhan di kotak penalti sepanjang 45 menit.
Ya, sementara masih ada babak yang kedua, harus bisa putar otak Bung Gita antara Deschamps ataupun Ohabi karena ini pertandingan yang memang berjalan ketat. Babak kedua tentunya dinantikan untuk bisa terjadinya gol.
Ya kalau kita bicara Maroko masih ada Sofian Rahimi di sana ya. Kemudian kalau kita bicara Prancis pasti pilihannya adalah berarti Barcola atau Tchouaméni yang akan bisa dimainkan di sana. Karena harus ada apa ya istilahnya orang keras untuk membawa bola lebih ke arah pertahanan Maroko juga.
Iya, masih ada pilihan ya. Berarti di baku cadangan memang harus diganti jelang masuk ke babak yang kedua atau mungkin masih menunggu waktu dulu Bung Gita?
Dengan keadaan kosong-kosong rasanya akan menunggu waktu terlebih dahulu ya. Setidaknya sampai dengan hydration break di babak kedua nanti.
Hydration break, oke. Kita lihat tadi ya wajah dari Mbappe seolah kesal dengan peluang yang terus dicoba diciptakan oleh Prancis. Namun belum bisa menghasilkan atau belum bisa ada yang dikonversi menjadi gol. Dari Bung Erwin, babak kedua. Kita tahu bahwa Maroko tim yang bisa bangkit di babak yang kedua, tapi Prancis tetaplah Prancis, mereka punya kualitas dan juga mentalitas yang sangat baik.
Ya, dan pemain starter serta pemain cadangannya kalau menurut saya lebih merata Prancis ya dibandingkan dengan Maroko. Kalau mau menyerang lagi, lebih menyerang lagi, masih ada mungkin Ryan Cherki yang bisa dimainkan untuk mendukung pergerakan dari Mbappe. Tapi sekali lagi bahwa Maroko masih menyimpan potensi untuk bisa menyulitkan meskipun di babak pertama tadi sama sekali tidak ada shot on target ya dari para pemain Maroko.
Ya, ini menarik nih kalau tadi Bung Erwin juga sudah sempat katakan ya di pertandingan sebelumnya menghadapi Kanada, 3 gol yang diciptakan oleh Maroko semuanya di babak yang kedua. Ya, ada Ounahi di sana dengan 2 gol, ada Rahimi dengan gol di penghujung babak yang kedua. Dan
mereka mencetak gol pertama itu dalam keadaan mereka tertekan sebelumnya. Setelah mereka cetak gol pertama baru mereka kemudian berkembang, lebih menguasai jalannya pertandingan, lebih menekan Kanada dan bisa mematikan segala apa yang ingin dilakukan oleh Kanada. Tapi saya juga yakin bahwa Prancis ini bukan Kanada ya. Artinya mereka pasti akan lebih membuat peluang ketimbang Kanada yang tidak membuat peluang sama sekali di babak kedua.
Ini yang saya sukai, berekspresi, membawa pesan yang positif. Kalau panas dalam, bantu redakan dengan yang ada badannya.
Introducing the ultimate protein drink. Lengkap dengan 16 gram protein. Power up with our protein packed drinks only at Starbucks.
No matter who you are, la pasión al fútbol pertenece
to the biggest team on the planet.
El fútbol une al mundo.
Football unites the world.
Introducing the ultimate protein drink. Lengkap dengan 16 gram protein. Power up with our protein packed drinks only at Starbucks.
Ya, kita akan melihat respon seperti apa yang akan dilakukan oleh kedua tim Prancis dan juga Maroko memasuki pertandingan di babak yang kedua. Mbappe, peran seperti apa yang mungkin bisa dilakukan di babak yang kedua menurut Anda, Bu Gita?
Saya pikir dia yang akan lebih untuk lead ya. Kenapa? Karena pasti ini apa yang harus dilakukan oleh Mbappe adalah seperti halnya pada saat melawan Senegal. Mereka kan juga tidak terlalu berkembang pada babak pertama melawan Senegal, tapi mereka memperbaikinya di babak kedua. Saya pikir ini yang akan dilakukan oleh Prancis.
Sementara situasinya agak berbeda, Maroko tim toknya agak sedikit lebih lama nih untuk masuk ke babak yang kedua. Sepertinya ada banyak hal yang harus dibahas sebelum babak kedua nanti, Bung Herwin.
Ya, kita lihat ada Achraf Hakimi ya, yang memimpin tim tok, masih ada di tunnel, masih di terowongan ini. Mungkin opsinya Maroko kalau mau bertahan, apakah mereka bisa konsisten bertahan seperti di babak pertama tadi, atau kalau misalnya mereka memilih untuk menyerang, ya ini bisa membuat pertandingan berjalan lebih menarik ya.
Ya, tentunya masih ada opsi pilihan bagi kedua pelatih. Akan seperti apa mungkin di jalannya babak yang kedua. Hakimi di sana ya bersama dengan Bono, kiper yang dari tadi penampilannya luar biasa dengan save yang dilakukan.
Betul. Sebenarnya kalau tim yang bertahan seperti Maroko ini, yang harus mereka lakukan adalah kecepatan pada saat mereka transisi ya lewat serangan balik. Ini yang belum terlihat di babak pertama. Artinya mereka juga tertahan, mereka juga tidak bisa bikin peluang, kecuali tadi di akhir tadi ada pelanggaran yang dilakukan oleh Rabiot tadi, dan pelanggaran seperti itu yang harus dipaksakan oleh Maroko pada saat mereka harus melakukan serangan balik.
Ya, pelatih dari Maroko sementara Wahabi ya. Kita akan nantikan apakah akan ada perubahan cepat yang dilakukan atau akan menunggu waktu. Sementara Deschamps juga masih akan menantikan. Kita akan saksikan seperti apa respon yang bisa dilakukan oleh kedua tim saat ini. Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko. Untuk itu tanpa berlama-lama kami akan langsung mengajak Anda kembali untuk menyaksikan jalannya pertandingan babak yang kedua. Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko di quarter final Piala Dunia 2026. Kami ucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
A allotted period for a half-time break, but Morocco are returning in their own time. 17 up towards 18 minutes since the second half ended. French have been lined up in their own half for a little while now. Eventually they're going to have some opponents again.
Yeah, strange delay between them coming out and now the Moroccan lads. France ran down the tunnel at half-time and they've come out sharpish. Maybe Didier Deschamps didn't have too much to say, or what he did say was short and sharp.
Didier Deschamps and his first lieutenant, Guy Stéphane, running through a few notes, perhaps debating the potential for a penalty shootout. They've had a penalty, it escaped them in the first half. So still nothing between France and Morocco. They went up against each other on the 14th of December 2022. In Doha at the last World Cup, France scored once in the first half and once in the second. Neither goal scorer is involved here today. Morocco would perhaps take as their reference point, or prefer as their reference point, the quarter-final they played 4 years ago against Portugal, in which the big centre-forward, En-Nesyri, scored the only goal and gave them their day of days. And as they will remember, of course, if you win this game, regardless of what happens hereafter, you are assured of 2 more matches at the World Cup. The semi-final, and even if you lose that, there's a third, fourth playoff. He has big boots to fill, but now he's filling them. Would you expect Morocco, Alan, to be any more front-footed in the second half?
I don't think so, not as long as it's 0-0, goalless. Obviously, France score and it'll draw out Morocco, but as things stand, I think their tactics will remain the same. I'll just be trying not to get caught on the counter. Get caught in one of those 1v1 situations that Mbappe is so good at.
Kone, Dembele's changed his boots at half-time. Yellow have turned to pink. Nisei. Kone, Koundé. Dembele, seen okay by Mazraoui. It's a beautiful manoeuvre by Unahi, who's got it back and has a route to goal here. And he has support outside of him. Lifted up here towards Talbi, flicked up into the air by Koundé. Talbi. Unahi. Moved on here for Brahim Diaz. Into a crowd of French defenders.
That earlier move was probably as good as they've looked, as threatening as they've looked, Morocco. They had a few men in support of the ball there.
Unahi, of course, the hero of the game against Canada in the last round for Morocco, and in that context, worth remembering that in the last 16, they played very much second fiddle to Canada in the first half, only to re-emerge as a different type of force after half-time. This, of course, is a very different type of opponent. It wouldn't be so straightforward. Talbi. Khanous. Talbi felt he was blocked by Upamecano.
Oh, what a ball from Kone that was.
Welcomed by Mbappe.
Stayed on. Deserved a much better touch than that.
Diop by Saliba. Nicely on by Rabiot. Turning here is Elise. That's a very important read by Issa Diop. Had a really strong challenge ahead of him by Alai Nawi, who's kept on moving here. Talbi's going to labour to get to that. He can't quite. Kone has gone down in midfield for France. Playing again out of preference to the perhaps injured Aurelien Tchouameni. Today, whatever your role, wherever you're standing or sitting, to be taking on water, Didier Deschamps certainly continues to do so. Has now started 4 out of the last 5 for the French boss. France's 14 goals at this World Cup have come in the second half. Kone. Upamecano. Elise. Saladin necessarily tight. Kone. Into Alai Nawi. So, Alan, if Morocco aren't going to change, what do France do to turn up the wick here and find a way?
Something special, that's what they have to do. We've seen it in previous games. Maybe Michael Elise gets on the ball, gets a chance to turn and finds one of those Mbappe runs. Just something a little bit different, a little bit special, because, as I said earlier, Morocco know how to defend. They've been doing it well.
Talbi. Dean is well advanced from full-back too, but Upamecano can shield it behind for a goal kick. Mbappe in one hand, and her nearest and dearest in the other. It is a Moroccan corner, as it transpires.
Has been a good start to the second half for Morocco.
Unahi, Hakimi. Unahi. Oh, it's done very well, Unahi. Couldn't deliver the cross at the end of it. Khanous.
Have a bit of that.
Rabiot, Koundé, Dembele. Uneventful start to the second half. Digne. Doué. Mbappe. Koundé. Dembele. Doué. Up by Mazraoui, protected by Bouadi. Gathered by El Kanous. Taken on by Unahi. Talbi. It's a long road round, Upamecano.
Wrote himself into the Sunderland history books for a winning goal at Newcastle in the English Premier League. At St James's Park, Talbi.
Salah-Adin, PSV Eindhoven with the throw for Morocco. Diop. Bouadi. Actually, by comparison with their run 4 years ago, Morocco have been relatively extravagant. They've scored 10 goals in 5 games. In 2022, they reached the semi-final, scoring just 5 times. Given away by Kone, taken back by Kone. Sifted up towards Mbappe. Doué is wide of him. Desiree Doué! And Bone gobbles it up.
Yeah, Doué got plenty behind it. It might have been another one that moved a bit. Needed careful attention from Bono.
William Saliba, who astonishingly was the only French outfield player not to have a shot at goal in the first half. Upamecano, who had their first effort at goal. Dembele, who had a couple. Elise. Upamecano. Mbappe. Oh, lovely turn from Elise. Beautifully gliding and playing it in for Kylian Mbappe, who lofted it over the crossbar. That was Elise in glorious microcosm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about a few minutes ago. Getting Michael Elise on the ball, getting him running up. Well, he's offside. Maybe he knew it, Mbappe, but yeah, this is classic Elise. Look at that for a little double touch. Beautiful. That not quite so.
For once, to this point, not Kylian Mbappe's day, which might turn out to be a premature assessment. Here's Doué. Mbappe, Digne. Rabiot, Doué.
They've got to find that strut, France, that we've seen so often in this tournament. Freedom of movement off the ball. Quick passing.
Upamecano, Dembele, Elise. Kone. Saliba for Doué. Hung up by Mbappe behind. Still no damage done.
Yeah, I think his team are trying to play at a higher tempo when they do get the ball in the attacking third. Be a bit more aggressive with it.
Moroccans continue to beat their drum. Wave their flag and clap their hands for Africa. 6 Europeans amongst the last 8. 1 South American, of course, Argentina, and just Morocco for Africa. Next quarter-final is in LA tomorrow, Spain against Belgium. Free kick here against Koundé. For handball. Diop. Diaz. France's 2 expected goals, of course, includes a penalty miss. But Morocco 0.06 tells their story.
Get quiet on that one.
Dembele. Dean, Doué. Sifted out for Diaz. Reclaimed by Rabiot, played in by Digne. Steered away by Mazraoui. Doué. Mbappe! Simply irrepressible! He insists on his moment. 20 World Cup goals for Kylian Mbappe. And it's another beauty.
The Morocco lads less than happy, I'm not sure what about. But you just can't keep him down, can you? Dreadful penalty. Hasn't had too much to do. This is really just a half chance from there. How many times have we seen him do it, though? Round the side of Issa Diop. Keeper probably can't see it until it comes round the defender. By then, it's too late. Such accuracy. I said this match needed something special. We've just seen it from the man most likely to produce it.
He meets Messi again at the top of the scoring charts. A moment or two in the shade, but it's never long before Kylian Mbappe is soaking up the limelight, the sunlight of Boston. And he has France staring at another semi-final. And even before that goal, Morocco were preparing changes, one in midfield. The youngster Ayoub Bouhaddi has run his race and is replaced by Sofiane Amrabat, one of the veterans of 2022. And further forward, I suspect this will cause a little rejig because Al Khanous has given way to a proper out-and-out centre-forward in Sofiane Rahimi, whose 2 goals in this competition to this point have both been scored from the bench. Lenawi, there is Rahimi. Salah Adine. So proper number 9 now for Morocco, Alan, that must appeal to you.
Yeah, I mean, they had to change it, didn't they? They weren't presenting much of a goal threat as well as they were defending Morocco. They've got to try and mix it up now, ask more questions of that France back four.
Lenawi. Oh, that from Issa Diop was untidy, to say the least. It's a yellow card that can't surprise him. And it's a yellow card that, should Morocco reach the semi-finals, will rule him out.
Yeah, came in with some force here. Not great at all.
Well, those two are old friends. 10 years ago this summer, Issa Diop and Kylian Mbappe were playing together in the same France under-19s team in the European Championships at that age group. In the final of that game, Diop scored a goal, Mbappe didn't, but it's not the first time they've come face to face.
Yeah, there was nothing in that one.
Elise gliding again. Rabiot. Mbappe now from wide. Block from Diop.
This is where France can take the game away from you, where they can put the foot on the accelerator and end the contest.
Here we are, Mbappe 8, Messi 8, Haaland 7. Haaland's next targets are England. Is England. England, for whom Harry Kane wants to be a part of the Golden Boot race as well. He's on 6.
Has there ever been a better Golden Boot race? I think not.
Elise starting to have fun. Kone, Koundé. Oh, Elise having too much fun. Getting caught on it by Rahimi, who got it out of play.
Just a little warning. But it's becoming one of the big stories of this World Cup, seeing the class of Kylian Mbappe.
How often has he scored that goal? Never mind all the others. That is 20 goals in 20 World Cup games, 12 of them in the knockout stage. Here's Dembele. Ousmane Dembele has hit the bottom corner. And France are heading for the Final Four. A goal of precision and certainty. A team of togetherness. A nation of the highest expectation. France heading for the stars again.
Well, once things open up, as they always do slightly after the first goal, there's no better team than France for finding those gaps, punishing you. Said they've got this great ability to take the game away from an opponent in a short space of time, and it looks like Les Bleus are doing that out there. Bono's had a really good game. I mean, he's at full stretch. Can't really lay the blame here at the keeper.
That's how it feels to be Moroccan, to crash into the realisation of just how good France are when they choose to up the ante. For Ousmane Dembele, 5 goals at this competition, of which 4 have been scored on this pitch. 3 against Norway, and another one now to put France into a position of preeminence, which only the wildest imagination could consider to be vulnerable now. 2 goals in 6 minutes and 3 seconds. Cometh the hour, cometh the men. Mbappe and Dembele. France now 2, Morocco 0. Well, that is the luxury of having the personnel that he has, Alan. You could wait for an hour, but you could always be sure that sooner or later something's going to happen.
Yeah, doesn't even need to call on his bench, his richly talented bench, to change things. He's got faith on in these superstars, and why wouldn't you have? What does he do now?
Well, he's got to find something now. He's never lost, but then he's not often come up against quality of this nature.
He makes it look almost humdrum. I mean, that has to be right in the corner to beat Bono. And it was. It's not so much the power, but the direction from Dembele that does for the keeper. And maybe does for Morocco in this tie.
This is what France have become accustomed to. 16 goals at the World Cup now. 5 for Dembele. And for Kylian Mbappe, remarkably, 8 as well today as a missed penalty. It would be quite a rescue act now if Morocco could find a way back, score the next goal, and it could turn it twitchy. Dug themselves out of trouble in stoppage time against the Netherlands, but only from 1 goal behind. Sun just beginning to dip on what has been a steaming hot day in New England.
Hard for the officials, well, the ref in particular. He's got to get up and down, be there to make the right decisions.
Change for France in midfield. We did see Manu Kone getting injured earlier in the piece, and so this is actually going to be a World Cup debut for Warren Zaïre-Emery. We mentioned before that Aurélien Tchouameni, who'd been natural to go in there as first pick, is probably not available. So the 20-year-old from Paris Saint-Germain gets his golden chance, his golden moment on this golden day in Massachusetts. And it's a luxuriant moment for him to come on. 2-0 up with a quarter of a World Cup quarter-final to play. Amrabat. Tight spot, Bono helps him out. Hakimi to dash away. They've got to get front-footed now if they're to have any chance of turning this round. Hakimi can regathered. Tolby. Hakimi. Amrabat. Saladin. Tolby's cross. It's an awful miscue from Upamecano. He's got away with it. It's a corner.
Yeah. It gave him and Mike Maignan a little nervous moment for a second there. Nearly caught in the slips.
Morocco must score next, inside the last 20 minutes. Their captain Hakimi with their corner. Hakimi lifted it in. Beyond Diaz. He couldn't keep it in. And so we're going to have a couple of changes here for the Moroccans. Anas Salah Eddin is one whose number is up. He's replaced by Zakaria Elouadi. And Brahim Diaz has also run his race. Yassine Yassine of Strasbourg, another French-based player to face the French, is on in his stead. He did score off the bench against Haiti at the end of the group stage. Sorry, Doué's taken a hit. Yassine immediately into it. Mr. Infantino beneath his baseball hat. He'll share that need today.
Got a great deal of experience to navigate these situations, France. And you have to say, Morocco, how many times have they threatened Mike Maignan? How many times have they made him work? Not many at all.
Morocco still to have an attempt on target in the game, of which quarter of an hour plus stoppage time remains. Beaten 2-0 by France at the last World Cup, trailing 2-0 to France at this. Referee stopped it because the main man's having a lie down. Kylian Mbappe impressed at the contact that sent him spinning.
Well, he's got a replacement, I think, about to come on in Jean-Philippe Mateta. And these stoppages don't hurt France at all. Just denying Morocco any chance to build some momentum.
So Mbappe will take his leave now. Didier Deschamps has seen enough. He feels the comfort and the cushion of the 2-goal advantage. No point taking any risks. Semi-final is 5 days away. Mbappe bids not adieu, but au revoir. See you in Dallas on Tuesday. Jean-Philippe Mateta is his replacement.
Nice luxury to have, isn't it, with 15 minutes or so to go. Take off your star man.
And the other change is one we've seen either way over the course of the first 5-6 games. That is the Doué-Barcola alteration. When one starts, the other tends to finish. Well, somehow Morocco have to conjure a moment here. Amrabat. Hakimi, all the way through for him, and Elise has a lot of space to run into. And here's a chance to see Jean-Philippe Mateta. Poked away from him by Elouadi. Zaire Emery had made great strides Here's Talbi. Alainawi. Diop, once a Frenchman, right in this moment, proud no doubt though he is of representing Morocco, who've achieved so much at this competition. Right now, he must be craving that Frenchness back.
Well, they were forced to be reckoned with, Morocco, no doubt about it, but against this France team, that's struggling to make any kind of a dent.
Hakimi. Hakimi, those Amrabat. How cool is Rabiot, poked away by Digne. And now Barcola can have his first run. There's plenty to look up and see. Elise alongside, Mateta ahead of the pair of them. Barcola's gone for the return. This is really smooth from France. Poked right across the face. Took a deflection, I fancy, and it's going to be a corner.
Well, you can see the fatigue coming into those players in red. Psychological as much as anything else, as the white shirts keep on coming at them.
Elise, Rabiot, Koundé. Upamecano, Zaire Emery, Luca Dean. It's Dean's cross, Mateta couldn't quite get purchase on a header.
It's a tempting one.
Unahi, whose goals dragged Morocco here. A couple of belters against the Canadians the other day. Unahi. Steered away by Upamecano.
We talk all the time about the riches in attack for France, but defensively they're as good as anybody. They've got a pride in their performance, a desire to keep this clean sheet.
This would be a third clean sheet in a row, a fourth in the last 5. Free kick given here.
It's just the accuracy, wasn't it? Not so much the ball speed.
Well, Hakimi has to conjure something. The principal star of the Moroccan side. It's his free kick. Bounces about invitingly for a second, but France were able to clear. Mazraoui, Hakimi now from the other side. Nahi, he can shoot. Referee's brought it back for the foul on Hakimi, and Hakimi can shoot from there.
Yeah, I don't know whether Morocco would want the advantage or the free kick here. I mean, he can shoot, but it's a heck of a distance out.
It's a one-man queue. It's Achraf Hakimi to shoot or to fly it in. He played it square. Unahi beaten away by Maignan.
That's a real bit of work, that, for Maignan. Lots of bodies in the way.
Unahi. First save Mike Maignan has had to make.
Didn't want to take a chance in catching it. It's outside the quadrant.
Skipper again. Two Moroccans right on the line. So Diop, a real menace. As Hakimi plays it in, and it did get its near post flick. But Neil Alainawi
Seemed to be going for goal rather than just flicking it on. Asking a lot to beat the keeper from that angle, but they haven't got there first many times, so it's an improvement.
A change in the wide position here. Shamsdeen Talbi giving way to Amin Sabai of Angers, for whom this is a first tournament appearance. He was a late call-up, actually, when Abde Ezalzoui was injured at the start of June, so his involvement here was always a bonus, and nice for him at what appears to be the end of it all for Morocco to say that he got a feel of World Cup football. And he has taken up a position on the left wing, which is his natural position in French football with Angers. Sabai. That's a promising first contribution, but the cross was too close to Maignan. Maignan saw Barcola, and Barcola saw green grass into which he can run. Barcola allowed to roll by Dembele, and then swerved wide by Elise.
Not good on the score sheet yet, has he, in this tournament? As well as he's played, he's been one of the players of the World Cup so far.
Top of the tree for assists, 5 of them, but yet to score for himself. Change at right full back for France. Koundé is done for now, and Malo Gusto will get what remains. His third appearance off the bench in the competition. Alainawi has been energetic. Unahi rolled off it by Zaire Emery. Elise dropping a shoulder, wiggling a hip, finding Dembele up towards Mateta, seen by Diop. Alainawi. Hakimi. Yassine. Barcola's nicked it back. And he is swift, he's too swift for all of them. Bradley Barcola! Bono adept at his near post.
Well, this stage of proceedings, this is the last thing you want. Barcola running at you. It's a bit of a double hit, that, actually. Not a clean strike, but he is rapid.
There's a bit of strapping on the would-be golden foot.
Bit of ice.
Dembele's corner, Mateta high.
If he can't get above the ball, nobody can. He's a monster of a man, Mateta.
6'4", his only 2 international goals came in the qualifying competition in Iceland and Azerbaijan. France do keep this clean sheet. It'll be the first time they've ever kept 3 in a row at a World Cup tournament. Unahi, who's come as close as anyone to threatening that clean sheet. Sabai, watchfully backed by Gusto. "20 attempts to 4. And just that Unahi strike from a free kick. Really to have worried Mike Maignan at all. Alouadi. Unahi. Deflection only aided Maignan. So France for a 3rd straight World Cup semi-final, as they seek to reach a 5th of the last 8 World Cup finals. They haven't lost a quarter-final defeat since that Mats Hummels header for Germany in Rio, to which we referred in a previous game a week or 2 back. 4 years ago, it was England they beat at this stage. Tchouameni and Giroud. 8 years ago, they beat Uruguay in Nizhny Novgorod, Varane and Griezmann. And they've got 6 minutes of stoppage time to see through here. Well, they've had so much fun, the Moroccans. Perhaps they began to believe that nothing was impossible, and then they hit France.
Yeah, said at the start that everything had to go right for Morocco to beat this fantastic France team. They had the missed penalty, so at that stage you thought, well, maybe they can give their opponents a really good game, but they've been well beaten in the end.
Rahimi. Unahi. Sided it behind for a corner. His right boot is generally the one he stands on. If it's going to happen, it's got to happen now. Sabai's corner. Azraoui. Nahi, Hakimi, Yassine. There's always a Frenchman there. But they kept it in. Barcola. Dembele. Gusto. Say Upamecano, Rabiot, Dean, Dembele. Beautiful ball manoeuvring. Rabiot, Mateta. Unahi. See, that's a nice spread. Sabai, he's handled it.
High fitness levels, Michael Elise. Such a elusive, sophisticated player. Joy to watch.
Nobody's touched the ball more than he has in a France shirt today.
Invariably, there have been really good touches.
You chose the word, Alan, sophisticated. That is what the French team is. That's what so many of these players are. Here's a sophisticate Dembele. And there's Mateta, and Bono threw a leg behind it.
No, he nearly scuffed it past the keeper there, Mateta.
Nahi. Radeon, Maroko, giving the impression now that they know their race is run. There's very little left in those hard-running legs. Right, he made a good save here, leaving a leg behind.
Yeah, it was a miss-hit by Mateta, but probably the last of many very good saves from Bono in this competition.
Oh, there's a try from halfway. Why not? Yassine. His eyes lit up.
Well, he made the breakthrough. Good footwork from Doué to set up his man. Even so, he had so much to do. He did it beautifully. Dembele really taken away any doubt.
See, Nahi. The dying embers. Now on Lycée, and that should just about eat up the remaining seconds. Morocco have been another decoration on another World Cup. This is an era of their footballing history which will be ineradicable.
Yeah, no shame in being beaten by this France team. No shame at all.
There, that familiar smile beams again. Didier Deschamps just knows. Warren Zaire-Emery. Bradley Barcola. And Elise high. France, Marchand. Yet one more semi-final. Yet one more gem of a goal from Kylian Mbappe. Ousmane Dembele came up with a diamond as well. And Morocco, for all their robustness, their ruggedness, their tactical adeptness, their determination, had no answer to the special ones in the French 11. Their points of difference are just too much for anyone.
Ya, tidak ada kejutan di laga ini. Prancis tampil efektif dan memastikan kemenangan mereka 2-0 atas Maroko. Dan tentunya mengamankan satu tempat di babak semifinal Piala Dunia 2026. Inilah dia kemenangan yang dirasakan tentunya oleh para pemain Prancis. Sementara bagi Maroko sendiri, mimpi mereka sebagai wakil terakhir Afrika harus berakhir. Sementara Prancis melanjutkan ambisi menuju gelar juara. Analisa selengkapnya akan kami hadirkan di Bola Gembira 2026 bersama dengan Vola Play.
Nanti temenin belanja bulanan, beli baju, nge-gym.
Akan kuhadapi dunia, tapi Indomie Jumbo dulu.
No matter who you are, si te apasiona el fútbol,
perteneces to the biggest team on the planet.
El fútbol une al mundo.
Football unites the world.
Sayang, nanti temenin belanja bulanan, beli baju, nge-gym.
Akan kuhadapi dunia, tapi Indomie Jumbo dulu.
Ya pemirsa, Anda kembali menyaksikan Bola Gembira 2026 bersama dengan Vola Play, dan baru saja kita bersama menyaksikan jalannya pertandingan antara Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko yang dimenangkan oleh Prancis dengan hasil akhir 2-0. Diciptakan golnya oleh Mbappe dan juga Dembele. Bagi Prancis, mereka kembali lagi ke semifinal dan juga tentunya menjaga konsistensi di ajang ini, Bung Gita.
Masih sama dengan babak pertama ya, bagaimana Prancis efektif menguasai jalannya pertandingan, kemudian memang ada sedikit perlawanan dari Maroko, ada satu shot on target yang mereka bukukan, tapi mereka tidak bisa mencegah Dembele untuk menciptakan golnya yang ke-8 di Piala Dunia kali ini, golnya yang ke-20, kemudian asis Mbappe yang membuat gol kedua terjadi bagi Dembele.
Iya, bagi Bung Erwin, bagaimana melihat jalannya pertandingan tadi?
Ya, Maroko tampil cenderung lebih bertahan, dan itu yang risiko harus mereka hadapi ketika di babak kedua secara konsisten Prancis melakukan serangan dan akhirnya Maroko kebobolan juga.
Iya, bagi Maroko sendiri ini merupakan satu-satunya ya wakil dari Afrika, dan sayangnya mereka harus terhenti di perempat final kali ini.
Ya, Eropa sudah ada satu wakil di semifinal, akan ada wakil kedua besok ya, entah Spanyol atau Belgia. Dan akan ada wakil ketiga antara Inggris dan Norwegia. Jadi hanya harapannya adalah pada Argentina untuk ada wakil di luar Eropa di Piala Dunia kali ini. Piala Dunia di benua Amerika, yang pasti akan ada 3 negara Eropa dan mungkin ada 1 negara Amerika Latin.
Iya, persaingan akan semakin menarik dan juga kalau kita lihat di semifinal nanti akan semakin berat justru ya lawannya kalau kita lihat ada antara Spanyol dan ataupun Belgia. Sementara kita akan langsung mengajak Anda pemirsa untuk melihat seperti apa highlight yang terjadi di pertandingan pagi hari ini antara Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko. Kita lihat ya bagaimana gol yang diciptakan oleh Mbappe tadi di menit ke-60. Namun kita akan lihat momen-momen yang terjadi ya di jalannya babak yang pertama di mana tadi ada Mazraoui yang
melakukan pelanggaran
pelanggaran di kotak terlarang, di mana ada penalti yang diberikan kepada Mbappe namun sayang gagal dieksekusi, Bung Gita.
Iya, ini kalau kita lihat juga ini peluang ada 3 penyelamatan dari Bono ya sepanjang babak pertama, 45 menit babak pertama.
Ya, penyelamatan lalu
tidak bisa mencegah di sini.
Ini tidak mudah ya memang ya bagi Mbappe. Bung Erwin, kita lihat satu tendangan yang sangat baik.
Setelah dia gagal penalti di babak pertama, di babak kedua Mbappe membayar tuntas dengan gol pembuka dengan cara yang sangat indah ya. Ya, gol yang sangat baik, tidak lama kemudian berselang 6 menit.
Iya.
Dembele
menciptakan gol kedua bagi Prancis.
Ya, datang dari asisnya Mbappe.
Ya.
Dan kalau ngeliat mungkin yang menarik adalah sekarang persaingan antara Mbappe dan Messi ya, sama-sama 8 gol.
Ya, menarik.
Mbappe 2 asis, Messi baru 1 asis dan dua-duanya pemain yang gagal penalti di Piala Dunia kali ini ya.
Iya.
Messi bahkan 2 kali dan Mbappe 1 kali.
Iya, gagal penalti di jalannya babak pertama tapi menebusnya di babak yang kedua dengan memberikan 1 gol dan juga 1 asis. Sementara ini kita lihat lagi ya ada peluang di sana namun memang belum maksimal, Bung. Masih bisa di save oleh penjaga gawang dari Prancis tadi ya.
Ya, tidak banyak yang didapatkan oleh Maroko. Kita lihat ini di sini ada 5 kali shot yang on target hanya 1. Meskipun possessionnya sedikit lebih banyak dibandingkan dengan Prancis, tapi saya menduganya ini karena possessionnya di tengah ya, bukan progresi yang positif ke depan gitu.
Iya.
Sementara Prancis dengan jumlah shot yang luar biasa banyak 22,
Betul, 22.
yang on target 9. 2 diantaranya menjadi gol. Memang ini menjadi tantangan ya bagi Prancis bagaimana menghadapi tim seperti Maroko yang kuat dalam bertahan untuk membongkarnya seperti apa. Sebetulnya kan Prancis juga menghadapi tim seperti ini ketika menghadapi Paraguay di babak sebelumnya kan.
Iya, betul. Kita akan lanjutkan lagi tentunya obrolan tentang pertandingan Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko. Namun setelah pesan-pesan yang mau lewat berikut ini jangan kemana-mana.
Introducing the ultimate protein drink. Lengkap dengan 16 gram protein. Power up with our protein packed drinks only at Starbucks.
If football were a nation,
elle serait la plus grande du monde. Si el fútbol fuera un idioma.
يتردد صداها في كل ركن من أركان الأرض.
Não importa onde estejas.
No matter who you are.
Si te apasiona el fútbol, perteneces
to the biggest team on the planet.
El fútbol une al mundo.
football unites the world.
Ya, pemirsa, Anda kembali bersama kami di Bola Gembira 2026 bersama dengan Vola Play. Sebelum kita menutup perjumpaan kita kali ini, seperti biasa kita harus tentunya membahas tentang satu man of the match, sosok yang menurut Bung Erwin dan juga Bung Gita penampilannya luar biasa, vital bagi timnya. Bagaimana nih? Ada dari Bung Erwin mungkin?
Saya Kylian.
Saya Mbappe.
Tidak, ya. Jadi dari Bung Erwin Kylian, dari Bung Gita Mbappe. Kita gabungin jadi Kylian Mbappe.
Dan ini lengkap ya. Dia lengkap hari ini. Gagal penalti, 1 gol, 1 asis.
Betul. Ini adalah pemain yang lengkap lagi-lagi menjadi andalan di pertandingan kali ini. Kita akan nantikan ya penampilannya di semifinal akan seperti apa. Tapi kalau kita lihat rating 8,0 dengan total shot 4 dan juga 1 gol yang diciptakan. Belum ada asis juga ya tadi ya di pertandingan menghadapi
dan ini
Maroko.
Untuk ketiga kalinya berturut-turut dia lolos ke semifinal Piala Dunia.
Iya, dengan kemenangan Prancis semakin mengukuhkan Prancis mungkin menjadi kandidat juara di Piala Dunia kali ini, Bung Erwin?
Iya, bisa jadi seperti itu. paling tidak modalnya sudah ada sampai ke semifinal, tapi kan mereka harus menghadapi dulu entah Spanyol atau Belgia. Kalau saya cenderung kayaknya lawan Spanyol nih ya, Prancis.
Bung Gita setuju?
Setuju, seru ini. Setahun lalu mereka ketemu di semifinal Euro Nations League 5-4 dengan Spanyol unggul 5-1 lebih dulu.
Iya, patut kita nantikan bagaimana perjalanan mereka nantinya. Prancis apakah akan berjumpa dengan Spanyol ataupun Belgia. Kalau gitu saya ucapkan terima kasih Bung Gita Suwondo, terima kasih Bung Erwin Fitriansyah. Kita berjumpa lagi di pertandingan lainnya. Dan kita juga akan membahas tentang, ini dia pertandingan yang tidak boleh sampai ketinggalan ya pemirsa, di mana Spanyol akan berhadapan dengan Belgia. Catat tanggalnya hari Sabtu tanggal 11 Juli 2026 pukul 00.45 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat. Kick off-nya akan dimulai pukul 2.00 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat, tentunya hanya di Vola Play. Dengan demikian berakhir sudah pertandingan pagi hari ini antara Prancis berhadapan dengan Maroko dengan hasil akhir 2-0 kemenangan bagi Prancis yang memastikan langkah mereka untuk ke semifinal Piala Dunia 2026. Akhir kata, saya Natasha Germania mewakili tim yang bertugas pamit undur diri. Sampai jumpa lagi di pertandingan lainnya di Bola Gembira 2026 bersama dengan Vola Play. Salam Vola Play Sports. Sampai jumpa.